Satang Prasanga. Talks between devotees.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, and welcome to today's presentation. So we've been going over a series of quotes to give us strength and wisdom during these difficult times. And today's one is also a wonderful one. So let's begin. So please read along with me. We have to rest in faith when solutions remain unseen. We have to trust His timetable, despite that it may be different than our own. This means surrender and acceptance. So we see it's very difficult to have faith. What is faith? Faith, Prabhupada describes in 2.41 Bhagavad Gita, Vivasatmaki. Vivasatmaki buddhi ek hai kurunandana, bahushaka hoy anantascha buddhiyor vivassayam. So in the purport to that verse, that one should be one-pointed, Prabhupada gives a definition of faith. He describes that in many places, in Act of Instruction also, but this one is quoted a lot, that faith means to have unflinching trust in something sublime. This is the definition he gives. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita, we see there's another beautiful description of faith that is described. Shraddha Shabde Kahe Sudridha Nischoy Krishna Bhakti Koile Sarva Karma Krita Hoy. That one is confident that by rendering devotional service to Krishna, he has performed or is covered all subsidiary activities. This is known as faith. So faith is required for devotional service to practice religiosity. A certain level of faith. But is it unreasonable faith? There's two kinds of faith. There's unreasonable and reasonable faith. Reasonable faith is by logic, when one observes the world. But the challenge with that is that logic itself is a defective mechanism in order to understand or develop faith. It works to some degree. But why is that? Because logic in itself works by comparison. So it's dualistic. So we're using a dualistic mechanism to try to understand something that's beyond duality, singularity. We're trying to understand something that's singularity, but using a dualistic mechanism. So it works at certain level of conviction, and then beyond that it has its limitations. Therefore a certain level of surrender after that is required. But initially, definitely analytical knowledge to discern what is na sato vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate satam ubayorapi drustantas tvanayas tattvadarshibhi. That one who's tattvadarshi, he studies the nature of both matter and spirit. So that's analytical study. So we see here, he starts here by saying, we have to rest in Him, we have to rest in faith when solutions remain unseen. So there are many things that we don't see. Even Bhagavad Gita describes pasyanti na pasyami. You see but you don't see. That means you're just looking. You don't have any understanding, because to really see means you have understanding. So many times when we want things to go our way, we are looking and we are hoping that this will turn out in our favor. But we don't see the different factors that are involved within the paradigm, within the equation. Whereas Krishna, being the supreme controller, he's orchestrating the whole thing, and he's aware. And he has to balance everything, not only your situation and my situation. He has to balance everything. So he goes on to say here that to remain in faith even when we don't see. So first level of acceptance is analytical, which works to a degree. And second level is surrender. I remember when I used to serve in Vrindavan, those were some of the best days of my life there. And in the mornings, we used to go for japa walk, sometimes by like 8 o'clock, just after Pujari Seva. We'd go for a japa walk on the Parikram Marg. So this sadhu I used to see quite a lot. He used to be from South India. I didn't know that until I spoke to him, because he spoke such good English. And he used to be from South India. And every day we would pass him. And on this one particular day, he stopped us and he was just talking a bit. And, local vichar, local gossip, how things are going. Not actually gossip, but how things and where you're from and things like that. So I took the opportunity to ask him. I said, Baba, please share something about bhakti with me. And he turned around and quickly he looked in my eye and he quickly said, he says, bhakti means no other alternatives. And for me that was very profound at that time, that there's nothing else we're depending on, there's nothing else left, it's just Krishna. And when I read over the 26 qualities of a devotee, then one quality stood out, Krishna Eka Sharanam. Krishna Eka Sharanam. That is completely sold out just to Krishna and Krishna's desire. So this was very profound to me. No other alternative. So we have our desires, we have things that we want. But if it's not going our way, then we have to trust in something sublime. We have to trust in Krishna. That's faith. So he goes on to say here, we have to trust his timetable, that despite that it may be different from our own. His timetable, I think we discussed this 2 days back in the second episode. Krishna's time and our time. That we see short term and he's seeing long term. Our perspective of time is relative. It's earthly time. Krishna's perspective of time is cosmic time. So when he even describes one instance of that in Bhagavad Gita 8.17, when he's discussing Brahma's time, he describes how Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Ahar Yad Brahmano Vidu, that these cycles, Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Kali, they make up one cycle. And then Raptam, in the night, Raptam is another cycle. And then 1,000 of that 4 cycles is one day of Brahma. So you can imagine what perspective of time and operation, what mechanics of time Krishna is dealing with. So when we are praying for something in an immediate sense and he's not responding, understand that he has our long-term vision at heart. That's why. And if we just give him the credibility for bearing with us and working with us, he has our best wishes at heart. He goes on to say here, this means surrender. Saranagati, surrender. Not an easy thing. Not an easy thing to surrender. On the last level, it's called Atmanivedanam, where one fully gives oneself to Krishna. And that is very difficult. So as we practice the other subsidiary levels, it helps us to become ready for that level of Atmanivedanam, like Bali Maharaj. So surrender and acceptance. So we have, I think, our effort to surrender is not so difficult to do the effort of surrendering. And many of us have done that. But where's the difficult part is in accepting it when it doesn't go our way. Acceptance. So surrender is much easier than acceptance. Acceptance means you left it to Krishna. So in the 9th chapter, Krishna describes to Arjuna, Sipram bhavati dharmatma sasvak shanting nigacchati kontiya pratijanehi na me bhakta pranasati. Arjuna, you declare it boldly that my devotee, he never perishes. It's very heartwarming to know that Krishna has our best well-wishes at heart. My devotee never perishes. So he's always trying to please us, he's always trying to serve us. The difficulty we have is in acceptance. So as we progress in Krishna consciousness, the different opportunities and struggles we have prepare us for that one final moment of death. That's why the struggles come. One may think, why does Krishna give us these struggles? Well, it's little preparations for that final moment of death, because when death comes, there is nothing we can do to hold it back. As sure as death. Prabhupada was asked once by a reporter that, the death rate in a certain country is so high. Prabhupada immediately turned around and said, the death rate is same everywhere, 100%. Yeah, Prabhupada had fun with the reporters, Another reporter had asked Prabhupada about faith. He says, Swamiji, you have faith in this process of Krishna and Krishna consciousness so much. What if all this is not real? What if all this is not true? Then Prabhupada said, what's the loss? We had wonderful food, we had met wonderful people from all around the world, and we had wonderful activity, beautiful things to see, beautiful culture. And then he turned around to this reporter and then he said, what if Krishna consciousness is real? And the reporter said, okay, Swamiji, okay. So in our practice, have enough strength at heart. I think that acceptance part is when we need strength in the heart. We need strength in the heart to accept that Krishna will do the best for us long term. So thank you very much for joining us today. Please join us again tomorrow. Hare Krishna.